welcome to Alpha Militaria TV. Thanks for tuning in once again. My name is Richard Saunders. Now, I've got a rifle with me today from Brocock, and I think it's fair to say that the Brocock range in the past has suffered a little bit from a not the best reputation for reliability. But in the last 2 or 3 years, I think the whole range has really come on leaps and bounds. And I put that down to the fact that a few years ago now, the same group that owns Daystate acquired Brocock, and you can really see the influence of that Daystate engineering and quality really coming through into the Brocock range. Now, the ranges are completely separate. They've both got their own separate ranges of rifles, and they're both made at the Daystate facility up in Staffordshire in the UK. But you can really start to see some of that DNA coming through into the Brocock range. Now, Brococks used to be exclusively bolt-action rifles, and the bolt wasn't the best system in the world. It's quite clunky, quite slam-bam, wasn't really the best bolt in the world. Now, about 18 months, 2 years ago, they transitioned to this side lever platform, and that, in my mind, completely transformed the whole range of Brocock rifles, and they renamed their range as the XR range. And as I say, whereas the bolt action was quite harsh, this side lever is very, very smooth indeed. Now, this particular rifle is just about to be launched, or is just being launched now. It is the Brocock Safari XR, and anyone who's been following Brocock rifles will realise or will spot the fact that there's quite a bit of history or sort of evolution of this rifle that dates right back to the Brocock Bantam days. And the rifle has evolved from the Brocock Bantam through to the Sniper HR, through to the Sniper XR, and now you've got this Safari model. And as I say, this really epitomises for me that sort of Daystate influence to it, because there is a rifle in the Daystate range, the Daystate Red Wolf Safari, that has this textured wood stock on it. And we'll talk about the stock in a little while as well. And so that's the most prevalent feature on this rifle. And also the magazine system, which we'll come on to, that also is very similar to magazines that are shipping in Daystates now as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the rifle's features from back to front as usual. Then we'll zoom in on a few of those, and then we'll put some pellets in it, put a target down the range, and see how it shoots. So the Brocock Safari XR then. Right, starting at the back, you have this shaped recoil pad, butt pad, and there is a screw in here that you can use to adjust the stock from a height and cast perspective. And on top there is a cheek piece here, and there's a couple of bolts on this side that you slacken off, and that will enable you to adjust the cheek piece as well. The pistol grip has a nice big cutout here for even very large hands. You can get your hands in there very, very comfortably. And the pistol grip has some stippling on both sides here, which make it very comfortable to hold and very grippy to use. And there is a groove just up here either side as well, to sort of direct your trigger finger into the trigger. And I should say the stock is also completely ambidextrous as well. Now, you can't really shoot this thumb up. I suppose you can, but there's no sort of obvious place for your thumb to rest, and the most comfortable way of shooting this rifle is with your thumb wrapped around. The trigger is two-stage and is adjustable. The blade is nice and broad, feels very comfortable in the trigger, and quite curved as well. And it does let off very nicely, I have to say. It's a very good, predictable trigger. The safety catch is inside the trigger, inside the trigger up here. As I've said before, it's not my favourite place for a safety catch, but it is very accessible. You push it to the left to shoot, and then you push it out to the right to make the gun safe as well. Now, the side lever, as I said, is very, very smooth, very easy to operate. I like the fact that it's balanced so that it's not at all vague. You're left in no doubt as to whether you've cocked the rifle or not. Putting it back cocks the rifle, pushing it forward probes a pellet through. And as I said before, the magazine system is very similar to the magazines that are shipping on day states right now. It has this flap at the front, this gate at the front that you open up and you put pellets in. And in 177 it takes 13 shots, and in 2.2 it takes 11 shots. And the combination of that side lever and the magazine is very reliable, works really, really well as well. Now on top you have a dovetail rail either side of the magazine, which is raised, and then you have this extended Picatinny rail up here as well. So you can gives you lots of options for sighting a scope and getting good eye relief for that as well. Now, as you hopefully can see here, there's a power wheel on the side, which enables you to adjust the power output. This is a 12 foot-pound gun, and I think that most UK users, 12 foot-pound users, are probably going to set that to maximum and leave it there. But if you are shooting with FAC, then that obviously gives you some options. And even at 12 foot-pounds, if you're shooting in a barn, say, or a very close range, you can drop that power down if you need to. You'll also see on here there are two gauges. The bottom gauge gives you the fill pressure in the bottle, the overall fill pressure, and at the top, this gauge up here tells you what the regulator pressure is. And all Brocock rifles, again, like all day state rifles, are fitted with a humour regulator as standard. And that means that the combination of that regulator system and improvements to the whole hammer and valve system makes this a very efficient rifle to use, and you get an awful lot of shots from this carbon fibre bottle here. I believe it's 420 shots to a fill in 2.2 and around about 370 shots from a 177. So plenty of shots for if you're target shooting on the range, and if you're hunting with it in particular, this will last you lots of trips before you need to refill again. When you do need to refill, underneath here, this little cap here is magnetized, and that just pulls straight off of the Foster quick fit underneath here. Hopefully you can see that, and then your airline snaps straight onto the fill there. And then, as you can probably see underneath here, you have a short Picatinny rail for a bipod or any other kind of accessory as well. Now the barrel is fully shrouded. I have to say it's actually pretty quiet as well, but it does have capacity for you to add a silencer at the end. If you unscrew this muzzle protector here, you can see that when I get there, you can see that this has a 1/2 inch UNF thread for you to fit a silencer to. And a combination of a silencer and that shrouded barrel, really does make this a very quiet rifle to shoot as well. Now overall, the 12 foot-pound rifle is about 850 millimeters long and weighs 3.3 kilos. So what's that, just over 7 pounds? Where's my notes? 3.3, I think it's about 7.3 pounds, something like that. Makes it a very, very compact rifle, very comfortable rifle to carry and to walk around with. Now there are a couple of FAC options as well. The FAC version in 2.2 and 2.5 has a 23-inch barrel, which obviously makes the overall rifle a little bit longer and weighs a little bit more as well. So I think those are all the main features on the rifle. We'll just zoom in on a few of those and show them to you in close-up. Well, filling up the Brocock Safari XR with air is nice and straightforward. As I said before, just remove this magnetised cap from underneath, put that somewhere safe, and there's no filler probes with this rifle. Removing that cap reveals the valve here, this quick fill valve, and then it's just simply a case of attaching your airline like so. Make sure it's on there properly, and then give the rifle a 200 bar fill. Just bleed that off. Then remove the airline, and don't forget to put that cap back on again. And then you can see here, that's your where is it? That's your fill pressure there. Right, loading the magazine is very simple. First you have to pull back this side lever. Now the magazine on right-hand versions pushes out from the right, and if you can see here at the front there is this magnetized gate that opens up, and what you need to do is you need to turn that inner drum round anti-clockwise, and then put a pellet in the bottommost hole just down there, and then that will hold that drum in place. Then it's just simply a case of putting pellets into all of the holes, and you can do this in any order. And as I said before, the 177 will take 13 pellets, which is an increase from the old magazine system which took 10, and the 2.2 I believe takes 11 pellets, and they just drop in like so. Now the one thing you need to be aware of is that the pellets will drop out before you put the skate down. So once you've filled it all up, or the chamber's up, you drop that down and that holds the pellets in. If you don't, then the pellets will fall out. So once your magazine is loaded, as I say, pop down that flap. Now with that gate facing towards the back of the rifle, put it back into the breech, like so, from the right, and then obviously push the side lever home again. Now the probe has been changed slightly on the Safari XR to accommodate this new magazine, but I have to say it's very smooth, very reliable, much better than the old bolt action on the older Brococks. Right, now we get to the fun part. Let's see how it shoots. Empty. Well, look, let's see how that fared down on the range. I shot all those shots at 30 meters, so let's go and have a look at the target and see how it grouped. So that's 10 shots at 30 meters with Air Arms Divelo Field 177 4.52 pellets. I should think 8 have gone through this hole here, which is about the size of my fingernail, and a couple of flyers. But that's not too bad. It's just starting to rain now, so I rushed a little bit as well, so the camera didn't get too wet. But that hopefully gives you an idea of the accuracy potential of the Brocock Safari XR. So that's the Brocock Safari XR. We're in middle of February. This rifle is just launching now. I'm sure it'll be in gun shops very soon. Nice and compact, very accurate too, lovely to handle. And I have to say, it kind of epitomizes the advancements that Brocock has made over the last 2 or 3 years, and really shows off that DNA that comes from the Daystate side of the family as well. Now, if you found the video useful, perhaps you could give us a like, hit the subscribe button, because it really does help us out. And if you'd like more information on this rifle, and indeed the entire Brocock range and a whole bunch of other airgunning topics as well, take a look at our website, which is www.alphamilitaria.com. Thanks for watching.